Hi guys, so I'm just waiting to see if I'm live. Thankfully, finally, I am live. So अब एक बार मैसेज डाल देती हूँ सबको कि सब लोग आ जाओ, अदरवाइज फिर ये अपना लेट ही होता रहेगा. चलो 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 से मैसेज डाल देती हूँ. चलो, let's get started. Today's session is going to be on what basics. This is going to be one of the most important parts of your process, guys. As you already know, in the admission process to a top B school, there are three parts. So the first part you've already cracked, that is getting the call to the GDPI. Now, once you do have a call to GDPI, then you have certain things that you need to crack. So as we were talking about in the last 1 week, you need to do your personal interviews well. So that's one. Okay. Number two, you need to write the what also. The weightage to the personal interview is about 40% of the total, and the weightage of the what is in whichever colleges they are holding the what, or the AWT as in IIM Ahmedabad or some places, you will have 10% weightage there also. So the PI what combined hold 50% weightage in your admission, and therefore they are very, very important for us, for anyone. So therefore, all of you need to be very careful and cautious when you are writing. Hi Aniket, hi Anjali, hi Vikas, hi Akash. Very good evening, you guys. Thank you for joining in. मैंने दौड़ा दौड़ा करके तुम लोग को ज्वाइन करा लिया है, बट चलो ठीक है. तो ये जो what है, this is also very, very important for us. So in today's session, of course, we'll be talking about the different types of topics that you get in what. I'll give you some sample types also, so you can start writing these out. Also, we will talk about how you can generate ideas, how you can, work on ideas for different topics. Even though I have helped you identify how to build perspectives and so on, but we'll still talk about it a little bit more. I hope all of you have already made a notebook for yourself where you have divided it into personal questions, general questions, current topics, so that you're putting everything in one place. So when you write an answer, you can go back and edit it, rewrite it, or some such thing. A notebook is always easier than a laptop or something, at least for me, because it's always very handy. Even when the laptop is shut down, the notebook is still by your bed and you're sitting in the middle of the night, you can still, scribble something there, so okay, tomorrow morning I'll have to flesh this out. So therefore, I hope you all have your what PI notebooks in which you are noting down everything that we are talking about. So let's get started. Let's not waste any more time. फटाफट से शुरू कर देते हैं आज का session. My name is Abhilasha Swarup and I've been teaching for the last 22 years. On Unacademy, it's almost 4 years that I have completed. Just about in March, I'll finish 4 years. I'll complete 4 years at Unacademy. I've written a book called Quantitative Aptitude and Reasoning, co-authored it. So I've written the reasoning portion. I have sent lots and lots of students to top B school. So if you go to any B school and shout out my name, I'm sure you will find a few students there who say, oh, I've studied with ma'am. Just kidding, yeah. Next year you can also do that. You can also go to some national law universities and do that. Anyway, let's get started. Let's crack it. Let's get cracking. Whatever you want to say. Here we are. Some very interesting things. So in your essay or what writing, please understand it's the same thing. A what or a writing ability test is just the same as an essay. Okay, so the way you write an essay is exactly the way you're also going to be writing your what. Okay, so we will think of it like that, and we will try and process each of the things, everything about the what as we go along. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, Vikas, I will try and tell you. Hi, Abhinav. Good evening, you guys. So let's get started. All right. So in a what, guys, what is the most important thing? That's number one. What are the different types of topics? Now, today we are going to cover a lot. So, of course, the first type of topic that you get is the current topics. Now, current topics means whatever is going on in the world right now or over the last 1 year. So, these are topics that are really, really hot in your writing ability test, because of course whatever has happened over the last 1 year is something that you have read about, you have heard about, you have discussed, and that is what the B school expects, that these are things that you will know very well about, and therefore they are asking you about current affairs. The second thing that they ask you is those general topics where they could ask you things from the world of business. Now, this does not have to be current. It could be a very standard business practice like the 4 P's of marketing or the 7 C's of communication or any such thing, right? They could ask you about economics, they could ask you about social affairs, they could ask you about political affairs. So, general essays are also asked a lot of times, and surprisingly they also could be asking you stuff that is very abstract. Okay, so three types of topics that are to be dealt with in an essay or in the writing ability test. Number one, the current topics, what's going on. For example, what's going on Russia Ukraine, Pakistan, and the huge debt crisis and the huge crisis that they are facing going on currently. Okay, in India we are going to be up for elections the next year, and that or the Bharat Jodo Yatra, or there are so many things, the vaccine for COVID that's just come in. So there's so many things that you could be talking about, CAA, the Citizens Amendment Act, or you could be talking about so many other things also, right? So current affairs, abstract topics which don't really have any thought that you have but could be asked, and then general topics, stuff that are standard, which can be discussed, can be thought, can be written about in so many ways. So these are the different types of topics that you could have. Now, some things that you need to pay attention to. So I really find these to be very important, and these are the keys to writing a good essay. Okay, so pay attention to this. Okay, so here, number one, when you're writing an essay, remember that facts are the most important thing. Okay, so when you're writing an essay, when you're writing a word, bring out as many facts as you can about the topic. Okay, that's the most important way that you can display your knowledge. So facts is the first thing that is being tested. Your knowledge of facts. How well you are able to remember those things, how well you are able to evaluate those things. So facts plus your opinions about them, nobody else's opinions. Your opinions on those facts. Okay, that's the first thing. Number two, they also test you on your written communication skills, right? How well you can write, how well you can put forward your thoughts in a logical, coherent manner. So the structuring of your thoughts, the flow of your thoughts, the coherency of your thoughts is very, very important. That's the second thing that is being tested or checked in this thing. Number three, of course, this is a hygiene factor, but it is important nevertheless, is grammar. Your grammar needs to be right. Your vocabulary. Well, I'll say something. You don't have to use a lot of very big words, but using the right words is important. So even if you're using simpler but correct words, that's important. If you don't know a lot of big words, don't fret. That's not a problem. You can use simple and logical language, well reasoned, well seasoned. That's all you need. Okay, so therefore vocabulary, good vocabulary, standard vocabulary is expected of somebody who's writing an MBA entrance. So that, of course, nobody's expecting you to become a tharoor and write what not. That is not required. Number five, spellings. You cannot, like I said, these are hygiene factors. Okay, I will write it here. These are hygiene factors. Hygiene factors are those that are essential. Nobody pays attention to them. Otherwise, But if something goes wrong, they're the ones that are being caught, right? So spellings, those also need to be correct. Out of the box ideas. Now, this is something that you're being tested for, and therefore pay attention to this. If you have a topic, and on that topic you can come up with something very novel, with something that is absolutely iconoclastic. You understand what the word iconoclastic means? Something that nobody else has done before or thought of before. So the out of box ideas are something that are very welcome. Okay. Now, this is something that's very welcome, and it's a great thing to do. Okay, so please think of any out of the box ideas. Don't go to any idiotic ideas, but definitely out of the box ideas chalte hain, bahut badhiya. Next, time limit is something that you have to be cautious about. Why am I saying time limit is something that you have to be cautious about? That's because there is a fixed time limit to writing your essays. So if you don't divide your time, if you don't break up your time into the proper time zones, then you are going to find it difficult to create the right essay and to be able to write it in time. So the suggestion always is that, let us say they're giving you 20 minutes to write the essay. Okay. So trust me, you will not take more than 5 to 7 minutes to write an essay. Correct? ठीक है, तो तुम्हारे पास 20 मिनट है जिसमें से तुम क्या कर सकते हो? 5 minutes you can give to ideation or thinking. Okay. The next 5 minutes you can give to structuring your ideas, structure your essays. In the third 5 minutes you write the essay, so the writing. And the last 5 minutes for revision. So this is how you can break up your time for the essays. Okay. So like I said, first 5 minutes for thinking of the ideas, next for structuring them, third for writing them, and the last 5 minutes for revision. If this is how you break your 20 minutes that you are getting, I'm telling you, you are going to be writing a very beautiful essay. So your time limit is very important. So you must, for whichever college you are writing, go through the ones that you have got calls to, check what time limit they are giving, and start timing yourself according to that. Okay. So start timing yourself accordingly. Let us say you've got calls to 3 colleges. One is giving you 25 minutes, another is giving you 8 minutes, or not 8 minutes, somebody will give you 20 minutes, somebody is giving you 40 minutes. So 40 minutes, 25 minutes and 20 minutes में आप क्या करो कि आप आदत डालो 20 minutes में लिखने की, क्योंकि 20 को 40 तो किया जा सकता है, लेकिन 40 को 20 नहीं किया जा सकता. So find the shortest amount of time that you're getting and start practicing writing in that. Every single day, write 4-5 essays. Okay, you have so many topics. I will also give you certain topics. So write those essays. Okay. So what will happen is your body, your mind will get conditioned to that 20-minute time slot. If you have more time, you can increase the time. That's not a problem. Reducing is a problem. Increasing is not a problem. So therefore, break your time up. Okay. And then page size. A lot of colleges will give you a single A4 size, one side. Some of them will give you 2 sides. So again, you need to find out how much your college, your desired college where you've got a call, how much space are they giving to you to write, and then learn how to write in that page. So get yourself an A4 paper, line it up, and then write in that. Okay, so that you get used to writing within that time slot and within that time zone. That's very important. So like I said, these are the things that you must pay attention to before you even start writing your essays. These things should be there in your mind that मुझे time का ध्यान रखना है, मुझे page size का ध्यान रखना है. 40 पेज थोड़े लिखने हैं, 2 पेज लिखने हैं या 1 पेज लिखना है. मुश्किल से 400-500 वर्ड्स भी नहीं लिखने होंगे, 250 वर्ड्स लिखने होंगे. तो 250 वर्ड्स लिखने की आदत डालनी है. That's what you need to now condition yourself. Okay, so very important. Facts को develop करो, written communication skills, how to write logically and so on, and grammar, vocab and spelling, and then the out of the box thinking. So these things you need to pay attention to. Now the essay, how do we structure it? Well, we're doing it just the way that you have been learning how to do it throughout these years. So number one, introduction. You introduce the topic. Now, how can you introduce the topic? Well, what you can do is you can do a keyword analysis. Okay, what is a keyword analysis? Exactly what you understood. So the essay will have certain keywords. So what you can do is you can explain the keywords in this thing. So write down all the keywords and say this is what the topic means. Okay, so the keyword analysis means you will explain the topic in the first portion. Okay, explain the topic, that this is what the writer is asking. These are the things that you need to consider. That's number one. The other way you can do it, you can do the 5 W's plus 1 H. Right? What, when, why, where, and so on, and the how. Okay? That analysis can also be done right in the first paragraph. If you know some good quotation, a good quotation which is relevant, please understand, it has to be relevant. And you know who the writer is also. You can also put down the quotation. That's perfectly acceptable. If you know a line of a poem, you can put it down there. If you know some very beautiful speech, a line from there. Well, friends, Romans, countrymen, I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. You can very well do that. So in your introduction, keywords, what, when, why, where, how, and a quotation. All of that can work in the introduction. Okay? Then you come to the second part of the essay, which is the body. Now, whatever topic has been given to you, once you have done the analysis of the topic, once you have generated your points, and I'm sure you will be able to do that, then you need to break all those points up into 3 or 4. So you will have 4 or 5 points. So 4 or 5 paragraphs for you. You can also club them into, let's say, 2 or 3 paragraphs also. Okay. So in the body, you'll end up at least 2 to 4 paras here. Okay. Now how you will write this? So when you start with the body, the first sentence is always the topic sentence. That means you will talk about what you are going to be talking about. So the topic of that paragraph will be the first sentence. Okay. Then you explain what you want to say. Okay. You put forward your points for the topic here and against the topic in the next paragraph, or you can divide it up whichever way. Okay. So, and then you can also give examples to support your points. Okay, so in a paragraph, you start with the topic sentence, then you explain it, and then you give examples. So this will together make that first paragraph for you. Then the second paragraph, the second point, the third paragraph, the third point, the fourth paragraph, the fourth point. Remember, here you need to give your facts and then your opinions. Okay, that's very important. Facts as well as opinions. Don't make up any facts, guys. It is very ridiculous. Okay. And then finally, so do the analysis here in the body. And then finally you come to the conclusion, which is where you can take a side. You can say, hey, looking at this analysis, we can say that this is so and so. Okay. Or if you don't want to take a side, you can say that it is open-ended and it is up for discussion. Sometimes they will ask you for your take on it. So you can then take a side. So you could take a side or you could leave it open-ended also. Either would work depending on how you have framed the essay. Okay, so that is how you structure your essay. Okay. Then when we are talking about structuring, we also must talk about how to generate points. So I have already told you this. So the pestle analysis works very well. Now the pestle analysis will help you do what? So find the political implications, the economic implications, the technological implications, the social implications, the environmental implications, and the legal implications of whatever you're talking about. You've got 6 points ready, even if you've got nothing else, right? So that's one way. Then you can also do a SWOT of the topic. Now, what do I mean by a SWOT? So you talk about the internal or inherent strengths or weaknesses of whatever we are talking about. Those are the SW, strengths and weaknesses. And whatever is external, whatever is an external factor, those will be your opportunities and threats. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. You can again blow up your topic and write as much about it as you want. Okay, so that. Now, what are the topics that you could be asked about, and that is what we are going to be discussing today. So you could be discussing current topics. Now what's being tested? Your knowledge of what's happening, your awareness, and your understanding of events, of situations, of business undercurrents, of politics, all of that. How well you are able to understand what is happening in the current day world and how you can link them together. That's something that is being tested in the current topics. Now, the current topics could be any of these. I had put down some of them. In the last class for personal interviews, I had given a bigger list also. So here we are: Russia, Ukraine, US, China, climate change, inflation, COVID, Pakistan, British politics, India and G20, farm bills, abrogation of Article 370, CAA, India's budget. Now, this is going to be very important for anyone who writes these interviews in February. So, these are some current topics that you must know about. You can also get to know more about things that are happening, right? Lots of essays out there in the world. Now, what I will suggest is at least these topics, write down a page, get some research done, Google the topic, get some important stuff, the facts, etc., etc. For example, for climate change, what are the things that are being done by the United Nations? What is the COP26 summit? What is happening? Oh, that cute girl that was there who was fighting for climate change and so on. Right? Find out and write it down. Write as much about it as you can. What are the implications of the climate crisis? What is the tipping point? Where is it that we must stop? What is India's view on that? What is China's view? What is the developing world's view? What is the developed world's view? So find out and write it down. And then read it, and then crystallize your thoughts. That these are the things I believe in. And these are the things I don't believe in. So write it down. That's very important. So all of these topics. Then abstract topics, and sometimes abstract topics are also talked about. So in the abstract topics, they're testing you on your creativity. How well can you connect something very random with something that makes a lot of sense? Handling uncertainty, the ability to think on your feet, and idea generation. All of these are very, very important. So abstract topics, very relevant. Some abstract topics I have given you. So pigs are flying, smart, green, Putin, the world is my oyster, rainbow, freedom, 7. Now what you need to do is you need to connect them with things in your life, things in the world, things in the business world, whatever you can. Draw analogies. Draw an analogy with this topic to something in the world. Right? Draw as many analogies and write as many paragraphs. That will be how you develop these these abstract topics. Then general topics. Now general topics, they are testing you on your basic concepts. They could be testing you on ethics and morality, on your knowledge of the society. What's the current theme that is going on? What is the theme of the day or theme of the time? What is the climate, not as in the weather wala climate, but the political climate, economic climate, and so on, geopolitical climate. That's what we are talking about when I'm saying what's the zeitgeist. So when you're doing the general topics, you have to be aware of what is happening around you and relate it to the world, right? Topics, of course, could be, some topics I have got. work from home, COVID vaccine, social media and its intrusion, electric vehicles, very, very relevant, huh? Politics and religion, ed tech, moonlighting. Wipro and all, moonlighting came into the limelight, no? Glass ceiling means women cannot rise up beyond a certain limit in a company. Grass is greener on the other side. दूसरे की बीवी हमेशा ज्यादा अच्छी लगती है. Ethical decision making, euthanasia, diplomacy in politics, and so many other topics also. These, of course, I've given you a few topics which you can use. Right? These are some indicative topics. Alright. I hope I've been able to help you in this session. Guys, I will meet you now next week with further discussion on this. Here's a list of some of my toppers in CAT 21. You could be here too. Alright, CAT festive offer is ongoing. Price slash of 25% on 12 months and above. 12 to 18 January. तो अभी टाइम है, जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब कर लो. बहुत सारी सेविंग है. कोड यही रहेगा अभी CAT लाइव. Congratulations to our CAT toppers. Here's another set of CAT toppers. Here is a batch that we are starting on the 18th of January. Code वही रहेगा, ध्यान रहे. USPs वही हैं. One subscription, structured courses, 25,000 practice questions, raise a hand, notes, mentorship. परफेक्ट स्कोर बैच फॉर रिपीटर्स स्टार्ट होगा 16 जनवरी से और ये उन बच्चों के लिए है जिन्होंने कैट लिखा था लेकिन उन्हें लगता नहीं कि उनका कुछ हुआ है इस बार, सो दे वांट टू राइट द नेक्स्ट कैट. तो अगर आप ऐसे हैं जिनको लगता है कि उनकी एम्बिशन इस बार नहीं अगली बार सेटिस्फाई होगी, well, this is the batch for you. अब इसमें भी कोड तो वही चल रहा है अभी कैट लाइव. टीचर्स इसमें अलग हो गए हैं. सिलेबस इसमें मई 2023 तक खत्म हो जाएगा. 6 मंथ्स ऑफ एक्सटेंसिव प्रैक्टिस मिलेगी. जीडीपीआई का बैच, एक जीडीपीआई का अलग से गोल भी है जिसमें आप जाके ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. हमारे साथ तो कर ही रहे हो, अगर वहां जाओ तो वहां पे भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. कोड वही है अभी कैट लाइव. बैचेस चल रहे हैं. प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन और आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन, दो तरीके के हमारे सब्सक्रिप्शन है विच यू कैन टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ. बहुत बढ़िया सा है. The Unacademy live subscription costs you only $9.99 for 10 CAT mocks, 4 OMET mocks, 25 sectionals, and 25,000 practice questions. Okay, special classes will happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is for CMAT and TISNET. So जिसको भी CMAT और TISNET का करना है मेरे साथ ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Special class में ये रहेगा. Okay, use my referral code and join in and stay connected, guys. Okay, मैंने जैसे बोला लेट्स स्टार्ट वर्बल पे मंडे वेडनेसडे फ्राइडे जीडीपीआई चल रहा है. आरसी ट्यूसडे फ्राइडे हमारा परसेंटाइल 99 परसेंटाइल पे स्किल बिल्डर चल रहा है. और लेट्स क्रैक वर्बल पे हिंदू एऑन एडिटोरियल मंडे वेडनेसडे फ्राइडे सुबह 10 बजे चल रहा है. ऑल्सो प्लस में हम कर रहे हैं आरसी और स्पेशल क्लास मैंने बता ही दी. If you wish to connect with me, use any of these to connect with me and discuss anything further. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope this session was helpful to all of you and that you have learned a bit from this. All right, that's it from me. I will see you soon.